You guys, I'm back with literally one of my faves, Cassandra. And as you read by the title, we're getting into the nitty gritty of this Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. They put NFL and football on the map, literally. So if you're ready to get into it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's your thumb. And let's go ahead and get into it.
I am so excited to be here and to talk about this. I was chatting about it casually, and the thought occurred to me. I was like, I need a microphone in front of my mouth as I'm speaking. I need to talk about this on a broader audience. I mean, if every man over 5 foot can start a podcast, then surely I can hop on and talk about my two hobbies, sports and Taylor Swift. Use my degree. Ashleigh and I were both in the media and journalism school and sports admin majors. Go Heels. So it's the perfect intersect of like everything that I love. So it's been a great week for me and my internet presence.
No, like literally to give y'all some backstory, like I'm just sitting on the couch and Cassandra's like, well, like if you're gonna do a video talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, I would love to be up there. And I was like, well, you are welcome to come, babe. See, and that's why
Yep.
you ask for things you want. You ask for things you want, and look
Exactly.
what happens.
Also, all the girls out there that are huge Taylor Swift fans, but also already knew who Travis Kelce was and already knew that he was, one of
A
the best tight
person.
ends to ever play the game. I see you. I hear you. I understand how hard this week has been, and we can get through it together. It's been difficult because people don't believe you, but we're rolling. We're rolling anyway. It's been great.
So, just to give someone any context, like if you've been living under a rock for the past week and a half, um, Cassandra has given us a very detailed timeline. I have one, but I have a feeling Cassandra's like is 17 times better than mine. So,
I
Cassandra,
came prepared.
let us know how we got to this point in our lives.
All right. Well, let's get into it. So on July 8th, Travis Kelce goes to the Taylor Swift concert. She plays in Kansas City. She plays Arrowhead Stadium, sellout crowd like my girl does. Eras Tour, got the merch. Phenomenal show. And on the podcast that Travis and Jason run, the brothers, for those who don't know, they run, it's called New Heights Show. They do an ad with SeatGeek, and that's when we start to hear Taylor Swift being mentioned. So I was rewatching some episodes today, and it's not included in my timeline, but the first mention I hear of Taylor Swift is actually in the Donna Kelce episode that they had her on. They do a SeatGeek ad, and they mention Taylor Swift. So I just found that convenient. But moving back into the timeline, so July 8th, he shows up at the concert. She rocks the house, to paraphrase and use his words. On July 16th, Travis mentions Taylor Swift in one of his SeatGeek ads, mentions this is where we get a lot of the content. This is where it takes off. He mentions that he was disappointed. He didn't get to hand her his friendship bracelet. And for the sports watchers out there, at Taylor Swift concerts, you make friendship bracelets, you hand them out, you do exchanges. It's all very cute and fun. It's based off a song lyric. I made like 40 of them. But so he wanted to give her a friendship bracelet with his phone number. He claims he took it personal because she doesn't do a lot of, talking with people who came to the show before or after she's there. She gets down to business and she heads out. His brother Jason claims that it's because she was an Eagles fan, possibly still mad over the last Super Bowl result, because we know our girl Taylor is an Eagles fan. She's been seen wearing Eagles merch, the infamous lyric, "My Eagles t-shirt hanging from your door." She's from that area. She loves the Eagles. So maybe, I don't know, maybe she was still mad. Hopefully she's gotten over it by now.
Well, obviously she has.
Obviously. Obviously she's wearing Chiefs jersey or Chiefs merchandise now. So then we fast forward to September 21st. Travis appears on the Pat McAfee show and gives us the amazing soundbite. "I've seen you rock the stage in Arrowhead. You might need to come see me rock the stage in Arrowhead, and we'll see which one's a little bit more lit. We'll see what happens in the near future." I mean, this just sends my life into a frenzy. I don't know about anybody else, but from there on out, rumors start swirling. I am using my PR side of my brain and the fan side of my brain. It's a very hectic week. And then the impossible happens. I mean, I never in a million years thought this was going to happen. I had people coming up to me at work talking to me about this, Ashleigh, and getting my thoughts and everything. And I literally said, like 2 days before, I was like, oh, I don't think it's PR. Like, I think it is PR. She's typically very private about stuff. She doesn't respond well usually to public comments, public commentary, getting involved in rumors. So then September 24th happens.
We all thought it was gonna be a regular Sunday.
I know. I was ready, to watch the Chiefs whip up on the Bears, which they did. They did. I don't think the Bears still haven't won a game since like 2022, right?
Yeah, they're not that great.
It's been, yeah.
Yeah, and for any context to Swiftie galleys or guys, we're very inclusive here. A football game happened, just in case anyone was wondering.
Yes, there was a football game. We finally got to see the Chiefs, I think, put a lot of their work together, coming off of their loss against the Lions in week 1. It was rough. I can't remember who they played week 2, but I did listen to the Kelce podcast. So that was a quote from him. He was like, I feel like we've just finally put the pieces together. Yeah, I had to listen to a whole hour podcast from the two of them to hear him talk about Taylor Swift for like 5 minutes. But anyway, September 24th, Taylor arrives at Arrowhead, looks amazing. She's sitting with his mom, which we'll get into later, Donna Kelce. We get so much content. We get the "Let's fucking go" clip after Travis scores. We get the chest bump, the leaving the locker room video of the two of them, which
we'll get into that
whole breakdown. The 1989 themed arrival outfit from Travis. The colors very, very 1989. She leaves in a convertible.
Vroom vroom.
For the people who are not Swifties, that is to me the biggest part of this whole thing, is that she leaves in a convertible. To talk about the media reaction to all of it, we also have the seemingly ranch conversation that happens on Twitter, which I did pull out screenshots of and can talk about. So then everyone, the whole country, is anxiously awaiting the New Heights podcast and the comments. So September 27th, we get what we want. Millions of people listen to two men talk about football for like an hour and a half.
Literally.
Which, I enjoy. Like, I would say that I was almost a 92%er, which is what they call their fans, before this whole thing happened, because I did like listen to sound bites and stuff on TikTok, but I wasn't like an avid follower of the podcast. I haven't watched the Kelce documentary, but I want to. I'm a big fan of his wife. Every time I see videos of after the Super Bowl of him and his mom, I literally I cry. I literally cry. Okay, so I pulled some sound bites. So the biggest thing to me about what was said on the podcast was how Travis handled the whole situation. Can we just talk about class? Complete 180 to who I thought he was prior, when he was still like trying to get her attention.
Literally, he went from like fanboy to like, oh, maybe I actually like want to protect whatever the heck and Bob is going on here. And I'm like, whoa.
Taking responsibility for himself. Yeah. So some stuff I pulled, the obvious quote where he starts off with, "I did this to myself, Jason. I know this." He starts talking about the, reaction from the country. And he says, "I noticed a few things, paparazzi outside my house, shit like that for sure." To which they share a laugh, because Jason was like, "How do you know they're paparazzi?" And he was like, "They have cameras." And then personally, my favorite quote of the whole thing comes from his brother, Jason. "How did it feel that Taylor Swift has finally put you on the map, Travis? How does it feel? How does it feel?" To which he responds, "Shout out for Taylor for pulling up. That was pretty ballsy. I just thought it was awesome how everyone in the suite had nothing but great things to say about her. The friends and family, she looked amazing. Everybody was talking about her in great light. And on top of that, the day went perfect for Chiefs fans, of course." And then he continues to see the slow motion chest bumps, to see the high fives with mom, to see Chiefs Kingdom, and how excited they were that she was there. That shit was absolutely hysterical, and it definitely was a game I'll remember. That's for damn sure. And then we just slid off in the getaway car. In the end, and he ends it with shout out to Taylor for coming through and seeing me rock the stage. And if you thought the content stops there, it literally does not. Then, you know, I don't have the exact timeline, but we see the TMZ picture that got leaked of her sitting on his lap at the post game. You know, there's rumors that he rented out an entire restaurant for her.
Yes, that's what they said. And then the teammates, they rent out like the restaurant, and then some of the teammates came, which I saw some people were mad that like he invited his teammates. Like, if I was a wife or girlfriend, a sister, a cousin, a third removed friend, I'd be like, hey, dog, we're rolling up to the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift after party. Like, what?
Literally. If I had met Travis Kelce's dog's mom's second cousin's wife, like, I would have made that. I would have been like, hey, I need to come. I mean, I flew across the country to see her concert. So, and I was in the nosebleeds, and I flew to Seattle. We see Travis Kelce's jersey sales go up 400%. He gains millions of followers. It says 400% spike in Travis Kelce jersey sales. Podcast ranks #1. He adds over 300,000 followers on Instagram. Viewers of the game jumped up to 24.3 million. 63% jump in female viewers. I can't imagine being a Swiftie like I am and living in Kansas City. Like, how do you not immediately become a season ticket holder? I would lose it. Yeah, it's a good time to be a sports fan and a good time to be a Taylor Swift fan. So, which sometimes it is neither.
Yeah. But yeah, just for like my stance, so like I like Taylor Swift's music. I like it a lot. I know a lot of lyrics, know a lot of songs, but I would not consider myself a Swiftie, as I did not fly across the country to see her perform in said Eras Tour concert. I didn't fly anywhere. I didn't even get in my car to see it. I just watched it through TikTok like the rest of us. So, but this was like insane. And I put a poll on like Instagram. We can get into some of those comments. We can just dive into that right now. So like one person was like wonderful, like they need to get married. Another person was like obsessed and they want more. And then most of them were just people saying like it's like absolutely insane how people are like walking them like down the aisle, like talking about their marriage and their kids and their families, which I do think that's a little strange. But as we all know, the internet is a little strange. So you got to give and take there a little bit. But the way I feel about this as like someone who's more sport than Taylor, just like how genuinely insane this is. But I also think this is an NFL thing, because like in the NBA, if the NBA has multi-mega stars that come to games every time, they put the camera on them, ESPN posts it, they move on. But since like this isn't really like, most famous people that come to the NFL games are other NFL players, and so the fact that like they've never really had like a massive person come that's like to the global scale of like Taylor Swift, because like Beyonce's already married, and Beyonce and Taylor Swift are like we don't like to put women competing against each other, but they're the only two people alive right now that are close to the same scale.
Yes.
In how they can make people move and make people do some crazy things just because they said go. And
exactly. We've all seen the mute challenge. Like, she's amazing.
she made people change their outfits just because she decided 2 weeks before her birthday she wanted everybody to wear silver. Like,
I know. As a gold girly, that would have destroyed me. But props to the people.
I would have did
it. I would have done it. Yeah.
Because Beyonce told us
to. Hi. No, I think that's so interesting. The reaction to it is so huge. I didn't see it coming as someone who interacts with Taylor daily. Basically, like a lot of my content is Taylor Swift content. I kind of forget sometimes that she's huge in the world.
Exactly. Like
she's always there.
She's just there, and she's always like, even though like again, like we saw like this was the summer of Taylor Swift, and she said this is also going to be the fall of Taylor Swift because I'm getting myself involved in football, and that means getting 75% of the world now involved in American football, which we all saw. As what they were like it was like 43% increased sales to the Jets Chiefs games that is happening on
Yeah.
Sunday, like
Yes.
no one's trying
And
to see the
they're
Jets
not
right now.
coming. Yeah. And they're not coming to see Zach Wilson throw another interception. They're not coming for that, you know?
Literally. Like,
Yeah.
but
They're
but
not.
the crazy thing about that to me is like, okay, you're buying tickets to the Chiefs games, hoping you're what, gonna see Taylor Swift? Like,
Yes.
what's
Literally,
the
yes,
goal?
Ashley.
To like
Like,
see her like
yes.
across the stadium, you're bringing your binoculars, and you're like, Taylor? Is Taylor? Like
Yes. That is the whole point.
that's the part that confused me a little bit because I'm like, okay, why are you buying tickets though?
She announced she's got an Eras Tour film coming out, right? October 13th. When
Yeah.
she
Oh,
announced
that's
it,
soon.
it is. I'm very excited. When she announced it, did I can think to myself, do I want to go? No. I hopped online and bought tickets. Like I not 1 second did I think, do I actually want to attend this? So I'm going to see a film of a concert that I've been to on opening night. And that is the power of Taylor Swift. But to further your point, like we really don't see big stars at these games on a weekly basis. I mean, the
No.
Super Bowl or like the Super Bowl really collects a lot of them for obviously. But then, some of the LA teams have some more famous people show
Yeah.
up. For someone of this magnitude to just like roll up to the game,
Like people aren't breaking their neck that the president is
right?
at a football game.
Right, right. Like I don't know why the internet is like running with it because I mean Taylor Swift does a lot. This
Yeah.
isn't new, but it's really taking off. Um, because if I see it in my feed, it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. But when people like my dad are like asking me what's up with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, that's when I know, okay, this has made it to some major news channels that I don't interact with daily. That some people are like already have them going down the aisle and some people don't. I think we really have to get into who Taylor Swift is and her
Oh.
history and her background. Because people think, her meeting Don Kelce is a big deal. And I'm here to tell you it's not. It's actually not that big of a deal. So my girl loves to meet somebody's mom. She really does. The one I'm thinking of on the top of my head, I mean, like she met Tom Hiddleston's mom, and she's famously written some songs on Reputation album. Stream Taylor's version when it comes out. Tell TBD. But I hope it's coming soon. Anyway, she met Tom Hiddleston's mother, but she used him like a fling, if we're being completely honest. He was an escape route from her relationship with Calvin Harris. So I don't know how big, like how much stock I'm putting into her meeting Donna Kelce, like some other people
Yeah.
are. The thing that I am paying the most attention to is the fact that we can't ignore the long-term boyfriend theory, where that is
Ooh.
you get out of a long-term unfulfilling relationship that you thought was the one. You have your little rebound moment.
Boop, boop.
Maddie Healy. You did not hear me say that. And then you meet the one. And that's where
Oh,
I think a lot of people are really
pudding
like
is.
that's where I think we're settling into is the fact that she spent 7 years with Joe and six, 7, we're not sure. We want to talk about news that broke me. I mean, I will never forget where I was when I found out that Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn had broken up. But and I think to really understand her and what's happening with Travis is we have to understand that yes, she's going to these events and she's going to these football games, and she's putting herself in the public eye, and he is too by his own association. But I want to look at more of how she's going to these games. Okay, this woman has security. She has armored cars like the president has. You know what I
But
mean? She
she's
has top-notch security, and the fact that that's why I said at the beginning, like I think the convertible thing is the biggest thing to pay attention to, is because she rode off in an uncovered convertible with this man. There's a big joke in the Swiftie community, like, oh, but can Joe Alwyn fight? Can Joe Alwyn fight? Travis Kelce can fight. Travis Kelce can fight. So there will be no stealing his girl. But I think that speaks to like the security that she feels, because she's at a level of fame now where like what does she get out of this? Like I don't think she has anything really, to
No.
that, like, she's not gaining anything from this other than Travis. And he's gaining everything. So the scales there are, I think, are shifted. And the fact that she is putting herself in these positions where she's driving off, and I mean, logistically, like, unsafe for her to be doing this. Like, you're in an uncovered convertible and there's crazy people in the world. There's a reason why she drives around with the security detail that she has. But I mean, she's going to bars with him afterwards. So I think that's what we really need to pay attention to, and that's why I think she's kind of in her, like, fuck it, I don't care era. I'm hoping, because
Yeah,
everything was with Joe was so secretive.
yeah, that's what I wish people could understand, but people don't have common sense. So there's that. I just, like, genuinely, because, like, Taylor Swift literally she can choose to go to these games and not be seen. Like,
Yep.
they could put her up in a box with, like, blacked out windows. You can only see out, no one can see in. They can get her in and out of there as fast as possible without a camera person. But the fact that they weren't holding hands, but, like, they couldn't get any closer.
Did you see his side eye? Did you see
He was
Travis
like,
Kelce's side eye? That's what I mean. When I say that this man can fight, like, where's her security detail? It's the 6'5" man standing next to her.
Like, the fact that we have seen so much content and footage around last weekend,
Yep.
to me, she's like, okay, they could be, like, in love. Who knows? I don't care. Cassandra probably doesn't really care that much either, because we're not getting an invite either way. Like, they could be in love, but mostly, like, I kind of think they're doing it for the fun of it. Like,
Exactly.
they could just be full sending it for the plot, which I love.
Right. I love that for her. At first I was getting a little bit angry because a lot of people do use Taylor as a PR move because they know she's popular and they capitalize off of that.
But Travis Kelce didn't really need that.
Yes and no. I mean, like, the rumor mills that got started because of his comments definitely did help him.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure.
But
so at first I thought it was that. I was like, he knows that the Eras Tour is, like, the hot thing right now, so he went. He's, saying these things about Taylor Swift to, like, drum up some rumors because she's single. But after seeing this content, like, just the fact that, one, we have content. I mean, she was with Joe forever and we barely got anything. The
only thing we got was an album.
right, which, if you listen back to it, yikes. But, like, we didn't get any content. We have, like, a couple clips of him from the Reputation tour. He wanted to keep everything a secret. And I understand that the pandemic was mixed in there, and I think she was kind of ready to be done with the limelight a little bit. But then we can't ignore the rumors, which are just rumors, but of why her and Joe split. And that is because he didn't really love that she was being Taylor Swift again to her full capacity, as in, touring and award shows and performances and all of this. And she's everywhere, and she's on Good Morning America, and she's had, a TikTok presence now. Like, there were rumors coming out that is a reason why they split, is because he didn't love the limelight and all of the constant press. So whatever this is, if it's serious, if it's not serious, if she's just having fun and, like, not giving a shit what people say about her, or if they are, like, really, taking this thing seriously, I am so happy for her, and I love it, and I love that she just doesn't care, because it makes my life more fun, to get content. And then if we look at what Travis said, I mean, like, he's not hiding it. Like, okay, there's this, like, her and Joe were almost secret.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they were almost in secret. And,
like, her and Travis are leaning in. Like, they're leaning
They're
in.
private. They're not secret. They're just private.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he put it out there. And I think there's a difference. There's being kept a secret, and there's just keeping the romance to yourself,
Ooh.
Romance is not dead. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see what happens this week. I'm excited.
Yeah. You guys already know what happened as this is coming out. The day after it already happened. I bet there's a world full of interns this week that have been listening to the most intense Taylor Swift song to find ways to incorporate Taylor Swift lyrics into commentary, into just
Captions.
into captions, into things the analysts need to say when they come on TV. I know for a fact on all those like pregame shows on Sunday, they're going to do either a skit or a bit or just a piece around this and her
Yep.
being at the game or not being at the game. I'm pretty sure if you go on FanDuel or whatever those betting apps are, somebody is putting in a bet for if Taylor's going to show up, how many times they're
I
going to show
want
Taylor, how many
$10
times they're going to
on.
mention her. Like,
Yep.
it is going to be genuinely insane. We need to touch on this outfit he wore because, you know, we do have a little segment about outfits around these parts, but like, he could have worn anything he wanted and he chose that. Like, come on now, my guy.
He chose a 1989 coded outfit. Are you kidding me? And you know, speaking of his outfits, a lot of these rumors in between when he first mentions Taylor on his podcast and the Chiefs game, I mean, he wears a John Mayer t-shirt on a podcast. And
if you don't know about John Mayer, that's an ex of Taylor's.
That's hop over to Cassandra's channel for her that video. I don't have one. You have to Google it. But would have, could have, should have on the Midnight's album. If you don't know about what happened with John Mayer, just go take a listen. But he wore that t-shirt and that kind of squashed a lot of rumors. It did in my circle of the world. I don't know much about the sports conversations on that. I don't know if they were even really talking about it, but in my circle of the world, it squashed a lot of the Taylor Travis rumors. But then he shows up in that coordinated, I don't know, was it like denim or it wasn't a sweatsuit?
It looked like bleach denim. Like bleach this outfit, it looked like bleach, like light denim because it was like white but like off-white, like the color you get when you bleach denim. And like aside from the whole like 1989, it was a nice outfit. Like, gotta give him props. The guy can dress.
Yes, the guy can dress. I mean, he's got it going on. But yeah, no, the light blue and white, the 1989 aesthetic. That's 1989 aesthetic.
And explain to the people about 1989.
So, for the sports people who don't know, 1989 Taylor's version is coming out on October 7th. Stream it to support your boy Travis Kelce. Fuck you, Scooter Braun. She's doing that on purpose. She's re-recording her albums to get back at him because he bought her masters. It's a whole thing. Yada yada yada. Anyway, 1989 aesthetic is very pastel blue, maybe some pastel purple. It's Polaroids, so that's where we're getting like the cream color from. She's kind of rebranding it with these re-records to be more of like a beachy theme. So there's some seagulls involved. Don't know why. They're just on like the graphics. There's literally a song on 1989 called Welcome to New York. Not quite sure why we're leaning into the beach vibe, but we are, and I love it for her, and I will support my girl. She has a song called Mastermind, you guys. Everything this woman does is intentional. She is the Easter Bunny because all she does is spread Easter eggs.
No, like literally.
In some ears.
Literally.
I guess, do we think Travis is going to play better or worse now?
I think it could go. I don't think it's going to affect his play, honestly. I just think it's like a fun extracurricular activity for him at this point. Just to like lean into it and just be like, because I mean, really, as he said on the podcast, he literally was like, I kind of like did this to myself. Like, like he knows, like I did this to myself. Like I made a public statement talking about I was trying to give her my phone number with the friendship bracelet. Like, so he knows, like he knows he still's got to like do well and play football. And even his teammates were like leaning into it as well. Like Patrick Mahomes was like,
we need to talk about the press conference.
Like Patrick Mahomes was like, I gotta get my man a touchdown. And literally Bill Belichick was like, this has been his greatest catch of his career. Like Bill Belichick is talking about this, you guys. So like, come on.
Yeah, no. And then did you see what Mark Cuban said where he was like, hey Taylor, if it doesn't work out with Travis, like you can come date somebody on the Mavs because you know we need the sales. But no, the press conference, like you just mentioned, that press conference, I loved the fact that almost every single guy that got up there got asked about Taylor Swift. Like now you know how we feel, you know, because since Taylor Swift has shown up to the spotlight, every interview she's had, good or bad, has been somehow framed or they've inserted some guy in there somewhere, somehow. And yes, some of that is because she's very, you know, autobiographical in her art to where she does write bad things about people that do, you know,
not too great things to her.
Like, so, you know, some of that is brought on by yourself. Like you have to expect questions like that. If you do write songs, But I mean, they've really taken it a step further, and it got to the point. I mean, we've all seen the clips from Ellen where if she just stands near a guy
Boom.
who kind of looks like a, someone her age or
To be a
anything, like,
suitor.
right, right. So basically, anybody who's not married,
Yeah.
there's rumors, circling that they're dating, and so I just really like the tone change of, you know what? No, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna ask you about her, and I think that really ties into just the overall, like, what I love so much about what Travis said on his podcast, where he took responsibility, like he wasn't shaming Taylor for being Taylor Swift. He wasn't saying that he hated the paparazzi showing up outside of his house. He was
Yeah.
saying that he knew why it happened. And he, like, lets her be her. And that's something that I don't necessarily know that Joe did. I talk about this, like, I have had dinner with them. But,
She is
you
their
know,
relationship counselor.
I basically am. I mean, come on, talk to me. But no, I'm really happy for her. I'm excited to see how it plays out.
It's a
You
win-win.
know,
I literally, it's a win-win situation for everyone. Like even the Eagles are getting on the bit because they have Jason Kelce and DeAndre Swift, and they're like, this
mm-hmm.
is our favorite Kelce Swift duo. Like
Yep.
literally everyone is getting in on it. This is truly helping the NFL. Like
I
Roger
think so
Goodell,
too.
I
Hire
100
her.
believe Roger Goodell is literally about to force this girl to be at every single Chiefs game this season. Like it's gonna be insane. You already got stuff to play. Now you're part of the team. You are a
Right,
part of the
right.
team.
You are on the roster. You are on the roster. But no, so and the internet reaction has just been golden. Like what you were kind of saying, like the memes and stuff. I've been laughing at Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, like football memes all week.
Yeah.
The Swifties are learning football, which is something else I wanted to touch on because in their podcast, they do No Dumb Questions Swifty version. And I think it's one of the only times I've ever seen men explain basic football concepts in a non-condescending way. Like they were so sweet about it. And they were kind and they explained it really well. And they themselves, like I'm not sure if you watched the clip, but yeah, they talk so much. I have a hard time with podcasts sometimes.
Yeah, I got
Because
it.
I'm like,
Sometimes
what?
You gotta hit that 1.75 speed.
Yeah,
You gotta
no,
make it go a little
for
faster.
real. And then I don't retain anything. But I can't get it. I'm not gonna get it exactly right. But Jason Kelce was explaining, like, yeah, man, when you play something for like such a long time, it's really hard to understand and like talk about it in
Yeah.
such a basic level and explain those concepts. But they did such a good job. And I even had some, guy family members of mine, like just reach out in normal conversation and be like, I can't believe there's so many people who don't know how football works. And I'm like, I think that's a really big oversight by them,
Oh
because there's
yeah.
a ton of people who don't know how football works, a ton of girls specifically, because their sources have always been from men, and who
Yeah.
wants to hear a man explain anything ever? Not
Because
me.
like and literally talking about like, we love men. Men are great. We love them. But
Right, I
like
forgot
there's
this is
two
going on the internet. We love men. We love you guys. You guys are great.
you're doing great, sweetie. Like
You guys are
I do
such
have a thing
hard
when it
workers.
comes to like men and podcasts. So like I wouldn't say I was like a big New Heights fan. I've listened to
Yeah,
like their episode with Jalen Hurts
because Jalen Hurts.
we all know why I listened to that. I listened to the episode with um Jason Kelce's wife. If you didn't listen
Yes,
to that one,
Kylie.
that was so funny. I was like, she needs her own show. Like
I
she
want
needs to
her
be
and
the
Taylor
third
Swift to be
party.
best friends.
Like so funny. And then I listen, yeah, I think they're the only ones I listen to. So we're at 3 total episodes of New Heights. Probably gonna be 4 next week if Taylor Swift comes back. So like I'm not necessarily the biggest fan, but like you said, I see the clips on TikTok and all
Right.
that stuff. And so like for them to take time out of their show, which it is a component of their show, like they answer fans' questions, but to like really again lean into the whole thing and be like, oh, we're gonna ask Swifty questions this week. Like that's so considerate. And I just
Yeah,
think that's so cute of them. And they weren't being misogynistic. They weren't being nasty about
exactly.
it. They weren't like
Exactly.
talking down to people. Like
Yep.
it was a great
They weren't
segment.
making fun of anybody, because a lot of times, like, if
Yeah.
you have genuine questions, And even in the space that like Ashleigh and I are in, where it's like we know about football enough to carry on a conversation. And obviously like more than that. I'm like 4 fantasy leagues this year. It's very stressful. But like we know for some of the people that like for the other groups that I interact with, like the other content, Taylor Swift, and like I read a lot of books, I'm usually the only girl in the room who knows a lot about sports. So for people like Ashleigh and I, the only people we go to for questions they're typically men, because they are the ones who know more than us. Because I know the basics. I need that step 2 steps above basics. So I just found it like really inviting and so kind of them to take time and just be so considerate and gentle about the answers when they could have been assholes, but they chose not to be. And I'm really excited for the Swifties to get involved in football. I mean, we almost took down Ticketmaster, so let's change some of these rules. Let's get Roger Goodell out of the league.
Breaking news while we're recording. It was officially announced Taylor Swift is going to be there on Sunday.
No way.
It's official.
Stop.
It's official.
Where'd you see it? Is it on Twitter?
Taylor is coming. You will be seeing us again next week. I mean, you will be seeing us again next week because it's going down. Meet me in the club. Oh my
gosh.
Taylor is coming back. Ah, that's crazy.
Wow, you guys.
So we'll be running it back next week. Stay tuned.
We will. Well, a little breakdown. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, now we know we have something to talk about next week. We don't even need to wrap it up.
And you guys, maybe we'll actually talk about a football game. We'll guarantee you, if you come back next week, we'll talk about the actual football game. So we're gonna have part 2 about this because we've been recording for way too long. Yeah. We're gonna have part 2, and in that part 2, we're gonna talk about the Sunday Night Football, the game, Taylor Swift coming, and couching Kelce. I had it on my notes first to talk about this episode, but since we're coming back next week, we're talking about it next week.
Yep.
So,
let's get
Cassandra, let everybody know where they can find you on the internet.
So, it is at Cassandra Behrens. My name, CASANDRA BERENS. Instagram, Twitter. That's the only 2 that I use, really. So find me there.
I don't know what you can watch. I have so many videos on this channel. Find something. We have a entire playlist about the NFL. If you actually want to know more information about like real NFL things and not, the drama that me and Cassandra have gotten up to today, make sure to leave us a comment down below telling me how you feel about the Taylor Swift takeover of the NFL this week, as well as make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every time I post a new video, which are always on what day, Cassandra?
Mondays
at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's still your thumb. And remember, don't be afraid to join the convo.